My name is Sundeep Raichura. I'm a qualified actuary. I qualified in 1998. I was born in Uganda but brought up in Kenya. But I did spend many years abroad in the UK. So I did my higher education in the UK. I did my university education in the UK. I also did a postgraduate there. I worked in the UK for 6 years in a firm of pension actuaries, a firm of consulting actuaries, before coming back to Kenya in 1995. Now, when I came to Kenya in 1995, there were only 3 qualified actuaries in Kenya. It was a very, very small number. And there was hardly any pensions work. The company that I started working with, Hyman's Robertson, we only had 2 pension clients on our database. So my job was to grow that client base. When I look back now and I say that from only 3 qualified actuaries to approaching 50 qualified actuaries, I think I can look back with a sense of a lot of pride in having played a role in growing the actuarial profession in this country. Okay, the history of TASC is very, very interesting, right? I mean, I want to write about this sometime. So, as you will probably know, TASC was registered as a society under the Societies Act in 1993, right? And there were 3 people who were very instrumental in doing this. This was Francis Opondo, there was Felix Chomba of ICA, and Titus Osero. This was in 1993. But the association was dormant for almost 12 years thereafter, right? So when I came in 1995, I asked, is there any actuarial body here? Then Jeffrey Nzau was working with R. Watson. Both of us thought about creating an actuarial society. We realized that there was already an existing body. I would say that active discussions on relaunching TASC did not start until about 2003. So that was a time when we started meeting. It was myself, Francis Opondo, a small number of people. I would say that there was a lot of support from the Nairobi universities, from the University of Nairobi Actuarial Students Association. There was a team there that was working very closely with us. We would meet on evenings. We would typically meet at the offices of the Kenya Re in town. We would have coffee in different places. We would do work on the constitution of TASC. We would think through what activities we would want to hold. So I must say it was a little bit erratic. And the biggest challenge that we had was that it was difficult to get people together. I mean, this was a function of everybody being busy and there being a very, very small number of us. We also started having meetings at the Office of the Commissioner of Insurance, who was very, very supportive of what we were trying to do. But then what gave a lot of impetus was the fact that there were so many students going into university, and we felt that we had an obligation to those who were taking up the actuarial science program to ensure that there was a professional body to represent their interests and those of us practicing in the market. So those meetings gathered momentum, and I'm very happy that in 2005, in June, we did the formal relaunch of TASC. When I sent out the letter of invitation to Professor Anyang Nyong'o, who was then the Minister for Planning, I said, the letter of invitation said, we are inviting you to the launch of TASC at the Hilton Hotel in Nairobi, and we expect about 200 people to attend that event. His PA called me to say, are you sure you're not playing a joke on the minister? Because to him there were only 3 people in Kenya. He thought there would only be 3 people at that event. So why are you calling him? And why are you doing this at the Hilton Hotel? And even when Anyang Nyong'o came for that event, he was pleasantly surprised. Because that we had a superb relaunch. We had almost 250 people present at that launch. It gave a really good boost to TASC. And I think if I look at the story then, it's been a big success story. Because in 2005 we had the relaunch. In 2007, TASC hosted the first meeting in Africa for the actuarial profession. This was the 3rd African Actuarial Congress, which we organized in conjunction with the International Actuarial Association. In 2008, we held the first TASC convention in the country. So I was chairman of TASC from 2005 until 2010. We became an associate member of the International Actuarial Association in 2008. In 2010, I'm very proud that Kenya became the 5th country in Africa to become a full member of the International Actuarial Association. And as I said, from only being 3 qualified actuaries in 1995 to close to 50 actuaries member of the International Actuarial Association, and we were awarded the full membership status in Cape Town at the International Actuarial Congress in that year. And it was a very, very exciting and a proud moment for Kenya to become the 5th country in Africa to get full member recognition. And since then the profession has grown remarkably in Kenya, from only being 3 qualified actuaries in 1995 to being close to 50 actuaries now. It's a big accomplishment, and I can look back with pride at those early days when we spent a lot of time to get tasks off the ground. The one thing that has definitely changed is the level of automation. So I can still remember that in order to do a pensions actuarial valuation, then I was using a system that in order to do a valuation for like 5,000 members, I actually had to set it on my laptop overnight. Right? So it would run overnight. Every 2-3 hours I would wake up and check, because if it stops, then I had to restart the whole thing, wait for another night. Right? Now you can do the same thing at the click of a button. Right? It's just the power of technology, and that I think has really changed the role of an actuary, not just in Kenya but worldwide as well, and will continue to change what an actuary does. And a lot of people ask me, what is the logo for TASK? What does it represent? What does it signify? And again, I should give you a little bit of history to that. So when we were thinking about the design of creating a brand for TASK, we thought about what would be an appropriate logo. Again, what we were trying to do was to make the actuarial profession distinctive, to differentiate TASK from other professional bodies in Kenya. We also wanted to tell the world what actuaries represent and do, but at the same time have a logo that resonates with actuaries as professionals in the market. So if you look at the logo, there's the head of an eagle in orange, and sitting on 2 pillars. One is green, one is mauve red. It's very much like you've got the head of an eagle and the 2 strong wings of an eagle. And the first pillar, the green, represented freshness. It represented professionalism, integrity and care as the first pillar of TASK in Kenya. The second pillar, or the second wing if you might want to call it, the red mauve, represented ambition and success as well as boldness. And with the message we were trying to give with the eagle was that an eagle, actuaries have an eagle eye, they have the foresight to be able to help industry, financial institutions and society at large to make financial sense of the future. So it was visionary. And secondly, the eagle was soaring high, and we wanted actuaries and the profession in this country to soar high. So that's the history and the rationale for the TASK logo.